Hi, George here, and today I'll be showing you how to put text around a circle like this, including making it read correctly across the bottom. That's the tricky part right there. I'll show you how that's done. Fairly straightforward. Now, if you have my photo coach for Photoshop Elements, I'll be putting the project files for this and a step-by-step written tutorial in the photo coach as soon as I have this up on YouTube. And you'll find that in the project guide section. And if you don't have my photo coach, I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. It's a great resource when you're learning how to work with Photoshop Elements and also a great reference tool even after you know how to use the program. Okay, start off with this project here. I'm just going to get this out of the way. And we'll start with a brand new file. Go up here to File, come down to New, Blank File. And in here, set this at the default Photoshop Elements size. You want it 6 wide by 4 high, so it's a horizontal, just like that. Now yours probably will come in locked like this. I just have mine with floating windows. It doesn't matter for this project. And I'll use the Control-0 keyboard shortcut to maximize that on the screen. Let's now put guidelines in to find our center point. Go up to View, come down to New Guide, set this at 50%, and that's on the horizontal. There we go. Same thing, View, New Guide, same 50%. Let's set this for vertical this time. There we go. We now have horizontal and vertical, which gives us our center point right there. We'll base our image right off that center point. Okay, now let's go over your left-hand side and grab the shape tools. You want to have the ellipse shape. You can use any color you want. We'll be changing the color in a minute anyway. I have mine set for black. You want to have this set for circle and also set for from center. And that's why we have our guidelines here. That we can just come over the center like this, position your cursor over that center line, and then pull out from the center. And I'll make it about this big. It doesn't have to be exact, somewhere around in here. Leave enough space so you can put text around the outside. Now I'm using an Alice in Wonderland picture in here for this, and I have mine right up here. It's on my recently edited file. There we go. I'll just drag that in. And I'll position it like this. Control-T, bring up the control handles, and let's shrink this down. And I'll position that nicely inside of the circle, somewhere around like that. Let's now come down to our shape. Now shapes come in as smart objects, a little icon right here. We need to convert this to just a regular object, so right-click where it says Shape 1 and Simplify Layer. There we go. Now hold the Control key down and click on the thumbnail. That selects that. Let's now go over here to the Gradient tool. I have my gradient set at the first option here, which is foreground to background. I'm using a black to white, or if you want to go over here and use black to white here, or anything else that you want to use, that's fine. I'll just use black to white for this demonstration. And I'll go outside the circle up here and pull down to outside down there. And that puts a gradient inside that selection. Okay, Control-D to deselect. Go back up here to the Move tool. Let's now put a thin outline around this, make it look a little bit better. Go up to Layer, come down to Layer Style and Style Settings. That's right over here. Come down to Stroke. I have my color set at black. And click on this and change to any color you want, of course. I'll leave mine at black. Here's the size. I have it set at outside. And I'll just pull this up just a little bit, so I have a bit of an outline, maybe about 5 pixels. Like that. You can also just type in a number here if you want to. And choose OK. This is a nice thin outline. It's about the right thickness to match the lines inside of our illustration. Okay, that's just the graphic, just to have something to look at. Let's now move down to the important part, which is putting on the text. And part of the reason for doing this and putting the circle in behind here was to get the circle set up to being drawn from center. And you'll see why in just a second. Let's go over here to the Type tool. And then in the Type options down here, click on this one right here, Text on Shape tool. I have my color set for the standard magenta color right there. Choose any typeface you want. I'll just leave this at Quicksilver Italic. That's what I used last time. And then set your shape here to the ellipse. This follows the settings for the Shape tool. So we already have this set for circle and draw from center. So same thing right into the center part like that. Click and drag out from there. And then pull the circle just a little ways out. Not right on that line, but a little ways out. This is going to be the baseline. That's where the bottom of the text is going to be sitting. So leave a little bit of space in there. And notice we have this kind of an odd shape cursor as you roll over this. Just come onto the center someplace and click right here. Now, if you're using one of the newer versions of Photoshop Elements, you'll have this Greek and text automatically come in here. That's okay. Let's just change this to say Alice in Wonderland. Or if you don't have this, I'll hit the delete key and delete that. Let's come down now and change this to from center right here. And just type in Alice in Wonderland. Now it's coming in kind of an odd position, and that's perfectly fine. Again, it doesn't matter where it comes in, it'll be off. So use the Control-T keyboard shortcut. It brings up a control handle box in here. We can now come just outside of a corner, click and drag, and we can spin the box around. Now you don't see the text moving with that, unfortunately, so take it around a ways, let go, hit your check mark, see where it's gone to, and then just keep on adjusting this until you get it into the right position. It may take a few tries, but that's okay. Okay, just about there. It's a little bit long. Maybe I can go down in size just a little bit, but I think that looks all right. I need enough space down here for a white rabbit. Come back down to the shape. I'm coming off of the text line on purpose because we want to be putting in another text circle. So go onto your shape here. Let's go over to our text tool again. Same thing, come down to the text on shape. Make sure you're on ellipse. Leave everything else alone. Come back into the center. Now this would be the bottom text. And with the bottom text, the top of the text is going to be here, and the bottom is going to be out here. So our baseline is out here. Basically, the baseline is going to be at the top of these letters. Let me just show you that. I'll click in the middle here, click and drag, and pull this out so that you're on the outside of those letters. That becomes your baseline. And come down to the bottom. Notice my cursor here. I want to be just down just a little bit and click. If you're in a newer version, you'll see some text in here. If you're not, you'll see just the insertion point. And let's type in white rabbit. Now it's upside down and going the wrong direction. And that's correct. Now come down, triple click on that. That selects that text. Now here's the tricky part. Hold the Control key down and drag in. Just like that. You have to keep on holding down your Control key as you drag that in. And that then pulls it inside and flips it the right direction. And then the baseline here becomes the inside of the circle, and it's now correct for your outer circle up there. Let me show you that again. It can be tricky. I'll just use the Control-Z to back out. So triple click, make sure you're selected, come inside of your text area down here, hold the Control key down, click and drag in like that. You can then move that around to get it positioned exactly right. Let go. And that pulls the text inside and flips it the right direction. Now, if it's off by a little bit, it's okay. Control-T brings up your control handles, and you can give it a little bit of a spin if you want to get your positioning exactly right. Now, we also can change our text color in here if you want. Let's go back here to Alice in Wonderland. Now we have regular text. Go back to the Type tool. Make sure you're on the standard type horizontal. Let's go to our top text. Triple click. That selects that. I'm going to change this to a red, so that matches our reds in here. There we go. Come down to our bottom text, says white rabbit, triple click. Let's change this to black, just right here. And now our colors match the rabbit's coloration in here. You're seeing these little lines out here. That's just because we're on one of the text layers. Come off of that layer, go onto the background layer, and you no longer see that little line. Let's get those guidelines out of the way. Go up here to View and Uncheck Guides. And there we go. There's our text on a circle with the bottom line of that text reading correctly. Again, not too difficult once you understand the process. And the tricky part is just how to get that text reversed or flipped over at the bottom. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'll be putting this project, the project file, and a text-based step-by-step for this in my HTG photo coach for Photoshop Elements. And I'll put that up after I get this up onto YouTube. And if you don't have that, it's a great tool. I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. Also, make sure you subscribe. I'll be doing a lot of videos, more than normal here for the next few months. And a good proportion of those will be going into the Photo Coach. I'll also be doing more videos on Affinity Photo if you're interested in that program. And I'll see you next time.